We are starting a whole new month, so it is time to talk about the books that I'm going to read in February. I have some ideas on what I want to accomplish in that month. I have some priority reads that I do need to prioritize first, but I can't wait for you guys to hear my thoughts. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you all the books that I am either going to read in February or have hopes to read in February. But before we get into the video, always make sure that you check my description box below. You can check my Pango Books account, which still has quite a few books on there that I am unhauling. Also, I will be filming this weekend my January book haul. So if you are not following me on there, you probably need to, because I think there's going to be a few more books that I'm going to be adding to that. Also, you can follow me on any of the socials. Check out my Patreon link below if you want to become a Patreon member and join my community. And also, I have my Fable app link down below, and if you want to join us over there, we are reading books for free and chatting. You don't have to pay anything, so I hope you come join us over there as well. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about Vanessa, who is a subscriber to this channel since almost very beginning. She also is a Patreon member, and she just upgraded to our top tier where she gets to pick a book for me to read. Not that I get to tell her a genre, not that I get to tell her what books I want to read. She gets to tell me which books she wants me to read, and she chose The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, I think is what it's called. Anyway, this is entirely out of my comfort zone because it is like a historical fiction set in World War II, I think, and that's about all that I know. I know that this author is very loved by so many people. I haven't read a synopsis of it. I'm going in entirely blind, so I hope that I'm thoroughly impressed. So thank you, Vanessa, for picking this book for me. Maybe I'll make it a Patreon only video, vlog style of me reading this. So if you're not a Patreon member, definitely become one. All right, and then I am happy to report that I am fully caught up on my R Fantasy bingo that I was backlogged on and trying to get caught up on, except one book, which I will talk about that here in a moment because I'm rolling it over because I am currently reading it, and today is January 31st. Let's talk about the books. I think I'm gonna do 3 books. Now, granted, there's only 5 books left on my R Fantasy bingo card. So we're gonna let it randomly generate for books 1 through 5. And then the last 2 books that are on here are the ones that'll be in March, and hopefully I read those before, I think, March 30th. I'll have to check. So I'm hoping I get them done. There is one big chunky boy in here that I have been desperate to not want to read, but I have it on there, and I do want to read it because I want to know what the story is about and kind of get immersed into it. But at this point, I'm a little worried. So I do have a number generator here to generate numbers 1 through 5. So here we go. Oh, it did number 5, and it did the book that I was just talking about. That is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a big boy. It is this edition, at least. Oh, it's only like 700 pages. It looks like it's bigger than it is. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know much about this. I have seen a lot of people that I follow absolutely love it. They rave about it. One of their favorite books of all time. So I really want to read it. I know that I didn't like, what was the book? Empire of the Vampire, I think, by Jay Kristoff. And there were so many people that were comparing that to Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm a little skeptical. Am I gonna like this? I don't know, but here is book number 2 on my February TBR. All right, so we only have 4 books left, 2 more to pick. I have to do the number generator because there's 2 on here that I really want to read, but I don't want to like pick the ones I want to read, and then it just seems like I'm cheating. Okay, so let's do numbers 1 through 4. It did number 3. Finally. I mean, this number generator is picking the 2 chunkiest books that are still on my TBR. Finally. I don't even know why I put this on my TBR because I wanted to read it a long time ago and now I've been waiting. So that is Forged by Malice by Elizabeth Helen, which is book 3 in the Beasts of the Briar series. This series is a Why Choose. It is about a girl who goes to try to find her father. She hears that he is like imprisoned, so she goes to the fairy realm. It's kind of very likeness of Beauty and the Beast. So she goes, trades her life for her father's. Her father is taken back to the human realm and their town. She stays with these 4 beastly princes. Their romance. There is a lot of plot to this. Books get so much better as you go on. I've been wanting to read this because the 4th book is called Broken by Daylight, I believe, and I've been wanting to read it so bad. This is going to be a 7-book series, so I'm all here for it. And I heard that Forged by Malice is really, really good. We have 1 book left to pick off of there, and there's not any chunky boys, so any one of them is going to be good. But let's go ahead and get it going. It did number 2. That is Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. I have heard so many people talk about this series. I think it deals with dragon shifters, and I also think that it is a Why Choose as well. And I think I read somewhere, yeah, Evergreen University. So I don't think it's like dark academia, but it does take place like in an academic setting. So I'm excited for this and to try it out because I have seen a lot of people rave about it. So I'm ready to try it. So those are all the R Fantasy bingo books that I need to have on my February TBR. That leaves 2 books left over, which is The Wrath of and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and then A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden. I think what I am going to try to do, if I'm mood reading in February and I decide, you know what, I really want to pick up the Sacred Stones series, then I might go ahead and pick it up, but I have to get through my priority reads first. And then the last 2 priority reads that I have. The first one is my Fable book club pick for February, which is A Touch of Poison by Claire Sager. It is book 2 in the Shadows of the Tenebrous Court. I am excited to continue this series. We read A Kiss of Iron in January, and I have been waiting to get back into that world. So I'm really happy that everyone over in my book club chose to continue this series. And then the other priority read is my Patreon book club pick for February, and that is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I have been trying to stay away from spoilers because every booktuber that I follow has already put out their spoiler vlog of their thoughts and their feelings within like the first few days. And I was like, y'all are overachievers, okay? I love you. I love watching your content, but I can't watch this vlog yet. So I'm hoping to get to this fairly early on in February. We'll see how things go. This is such a beloved series by so many people, and I really loved book 1. Book 2 was kind of mid for me because towards the end of it, we were back in the school setting and I was like, you guys, I'm done with the school setting. We have a rebellion. We have things to do. So I'm ready to see how things go for our lovely characters. And then the book that I am currently reading is the last R Fantasy bingo book that I had for January that I didn't quite get to in the whole month. I am currently reading it. I'm about 108, I think, pages in, 106. And it's like a 400-page book. It is a B format book, so it's a lot smaller, and the letters are kind of big, so I don't think it's gonna take me long to get through it. But that is Storybound by Emily McKay. This is just the dust jacket because, like I said, I'm currently reading it. This book is not what I had expected, really. I mean, it is YA, and I knew that going in, but I didn't think that it would be really young YA is how I feel the writing is. We'll talk about it in my February wrap up, but I'm enjoying it and then I'm not enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying the story and I'm intrigued to see where we go, and I'm intrigued our love interest, what is going to happen, but I think the setup has been a little juvenile for me. So the 3 books that are on my radar, I do a lot of mood reading anymore. I mean, you've probably seen me put The Crown of Oaths and Curses by Jay Bree on the past like 3 or 4 TBRs, and I have not even gotten to it yet. These are 3 that I really want to get to for a number of reasons. The first one that I want to get to is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I have read Powerless and I have read Powerful, the novella. I have not read book 2, and I know book 3 is coming out, I think April, maybe. So I want to get caught up because I am trying to consciously read all of the series that I'm in the middle of throughout the year and not have as many series rolling over that I'm just like, oh, I haven't read that book yet. Now I've forgotten what's happening. I'm hoping I can get to Reckless if I feel in the mood. If I don't, then I'll just push it off to March. But I really hope I can get to it before the final one comes out. The last 2 books were books that were in my maybe pile for my book on haul that I did at the end of December. Actually, I think it was my book haul that I did at the beginning of January, and I said these books in particular are books that I'm kind of iffy about. I don't know if I want to keep them. So instead of just putting them on my Pango Books account, I decided why not at least try them or try them again and see what I think of them. So the first one that I am going to try before I sell it, because if I like it, then I would love to keep this beautiful edition. And that book came from Fairy Loot, and it is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. So this book takes place in 1923 London. I don't know much about it, but there's like a civil war going on, or one is started by our main character, and this is a beautiful edition. I at first was just gonna unhaul it, and then I saw, I think Becca in the books had read the synopsis, talked about what it was about, how it wasn't really her vibe, which I get it. Like, I know that the time period is not necessarily her favorite, but I thought, you know what, that sounds really interesting. So before I sell it, I'm gonna try it. Let me know in the comments below if you have read this or you have it on your radar. What do you think I'm gonna think of it? Do you think that I'm gonna keep it, or do you think I'm gonna unhaul it? I'm curious. The last book that I put on here for should I keep it or should I unhaul it? You have heard me talk about it a couple times over the past couple months. I have 2 beautiful and gorgeous editions, and I read it as an ARC back in August, September timeframe because I had gotten an ARC from NetGalley, and I didn't necessarily like it, but I want to give it a second shot. I want to just try it again. Maybe it was right book, wrong time. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I have heard so many people that love Mary E. Pearson's writing. Let me just tell you what the book is. It is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. I have had so many people tell me that they love Mary E. Pearson's writing, especially in the Remnant Chronicles, and then they get this book and they were so disappointed. I never read anything from Mary E. Pearson, so this was kind of like my first dip in the water with her, and I did not like this book either, but I am going to give it another shot because the beautiful edition. I would love to display these edges on my shelf. However, I need to be realistic. I'm unsure. I don't know. We'll see if it survives or not. If not, it will be on my Pango Books account. Alright everyone, those are all of the books that I need to read in February or have on my radar. Are any of these books on your radar? Let me know down below. Also, let me know if you are going to join my Patreon or if you're going to join my Fable book club. I would love to have you at one or the other or both. I would love to have more reading buddies in our community. And if you do end up joining my Patreon and being the top tier, you do get to pick a book for me to read. So I'm pretty excited for that. I am currently revamping my Patreon. I have a new video that's coming out for them, I think in the next week or 2. So they're gonna be pretty happy with that. And then also, everyone, I have an announcement. If you have not seen my community tab, my husband and I are officially house hunting. We went last weekend, and that's why there was no video on Saturday. Looked at several houses, didn't find anything we liked, and then Monday we went and looked at a house, found one, put in an offer, and then they countered, we accepted, and then they just kept, doing us dirty, so we pulled out. So tomorrow, whenever this video is going live, we are looking at more houses, so wish us luck. And I will probably vlog the moving experience because this is my husband and I's first home ever. Neither of us have ever owned a home. We've always rented, or in the interim lived with our parents, in between places. So we're excited. We've been in our apartment for almost 3 years, and we feel it's time. It is time to go ahead and buy a home. So wish us luck, and I hope everyone has a beautiful Saturday, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!